go. And before they let us go, they invited us, and it was Nicolella, Mr. Nicolella, who was managing these camps. When I came to see him, he showed me a piece of paper and says, I said, why did you arrest me? What was the background? He showed me a piece of paper and says, well, I said, do you have any information that I had any meeting, that I wrote anything? Mm-hmm. I said, your government, Christian at that time, Christian Democrat, were in power. They had the same ideas and idealism as I have. I never was communist. If I was communist, I wouldn't come to Italy to be in the camps. I would be in my country or be in some other higher position. Right now, I got freed from I came back to the refugee camp, but my cousin in Canada made papers for me to come to Canada. Canada says, we are not accepting everybody and anybody. You are not persons whom we welcome. So my friend, he was founder of N&D supermarkets, Nick Budimir, whom I just met there in Italy. Just met. Mm-hmm. We knew few days, actually. We met at IRO, International Organizations, and he said, oh, and he said, you go to General Mihailovic. That was Mihailovic, who was general in the Yugoslav army, and thank God he was general in Dalmatia. He was general in Dalmatia, mm-hmm. And I knocked the door, and he was very reluctant, and I started to tell him about my family, and I said, you know my father, you know my uncle, you know my whole family. I said, if I was communist, I wouldn't come here to you to ask for the help. And he says, okay. So he went with me to Canadian Embassy. And he opened the door, he says, you stay here. And after 3 minutes, he closed the door. I mean, he opened the door, he says, okay, Mr. Consul would like to see you, Canadian. He said, welcome. Welcome to Canada. Oh my God, I was like, and I rushed back because in the evening, boat was leaving. In the evening, I rushed, got the papers, he gave me the visa, and I boarded, and I think it was Samaria, but I am not sure. My goodness, I was thinking all these days about boat, and nobody is from family here, Budimir family, that they would know. So I think it was Samaria. They were on the same boat. Cunard, anyhow, Cunard lies. And we came to Halifax, and from Halifax I went to Alberta. It was very cold. That winter, my goodness, started in October to snow, and I came from Dalmatia. that was quite a big shock for me. And in Alberta, I was, again, had misfortune. I was caught in the fire, and I escaped, thank God. That's it.
And when did you come to Windsor?
In Windsor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in 1949.
1949.
And since then, I live in Windsor. I got married in 1983, I guess. No, 83, 53. I wish I am so young. Well, I only have then grandchildren, so.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Upon arriving in Windsor, Mr. Dobcota was first employed by the Canadian Automotive Trim Company. In 1958, he opened his own insurance agency and has been in the insurance business ever since. He married his wife Jane in 1953, and in 1954 they had a set of twins, Elizabeth and Helen, who are now married and have children of their own. Mr. Dobcota is an active member of the Serbian Orthodox Church Gračanica and has been a volunteer teacher to Serbian children in Windsor since 1954.
Amog